Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian World. I'm your host, Amir Rabater. And for top stories, 2,225 confirmed cases and 50 additional deaths reported on Tuesday. President of Mongolia issues a decree to plant 1 billion trees and sets a goal to create a Green Mongolia. And for other news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health reported that 2,225 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed on Tuesday and 15 people have died.
The Ministry of Health today, on October 5th, has reported that 2,225 new COVID-19 cases were detected in the past 24 hours after tests were carried out at PCR laboratories across the country. And 2,269 patients who were being treated recovered within the past 24 hours. Unfortunately, 15 people died due to COVID-19 complications. All new cases are of domestic transmission, 1,015 of which were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar, and the remaining 1,210 were confirmed in the provinces. 22,214 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide. Additionally, about 53,834 patients are being treated at home. Among the COVID-19 patients being treated at hospitals nationwide, 13,282 are showing mild symptoms of illness, and 382 are in critical condition. Currently in Mongolia, 2,259,944 people have received their first COVID-19 vaccine dose nationwide, and 2,131,465 people have received a second dose of a vaccine.
President of Mongolia, Khursukhna, has issued a decree on developing a national program to combat climate change and desertification. The decree was introduced to the public by the President's Chief of Staff, Saltwater, and Minister of Nature, Environment and Tourism, Ortnasan. Mongolia is the country most affected by climate change and global warming. Within the framework of this movement, funding for environmental protection and combating climate change should be a policy. Therefore, the presidential decree stipulates that up to 1% of gross domestic product should be spent on the environment. Currently, there is a legal provision to spend a certain percentage of GDP on education and health. The government's proposal to the president also includes recommendations from industry experts and a working group at the Ministry of Nature, Environment and Tourism.
In his statement delivered at the general debate of the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York on September 22nd, President Khurelsukh announced Mongolia's launch of a campaign to plant 1 billion trees by 2030. In order to reduce global climate change and increase Mongolia's contribution and participation in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the direction was given to develop the nation's tree planting program in line with the Vision 2050 long-term development policy. The government has also been instructed to incorporate tree planting in the From Welfare to Employment policy, provide policy support to citizens and businesses, promote tree planting, create water resources for irrigation, and introduce advanced technology to create ponds.
We have set up working groups to launch a national campaign to plant 1 billion trees and to ensure its implementation for the next 10 years. As of today, 76.9% of Mongolia's territory is affected by desertification. It is estimated that if we manage to achieve this goal, 120 million hectares of highly desertified land will be reduced by 4%, forest cover will be increased by 9%, and greenhouse gas emissions will be reduced by 600,000 tons.
The minister also noted that large private companies have taken the initiative to plant 20 million to 120 million trees in the next 10 years, emphasizing that public-private partnership will be ensured in the realization of the campaign. The President's office stated that the planting of 1 billion trees will be carried out in 3 phases. The preparation phase will take place in 2021 through 2024, and the second phase, the intensification phase, will be implemented in 2024 through 2026. The third phase, the sustainable implementation phase, is scheduled for 2027 through 2030.
The inauguration ceremony for the National Billion Trees campaign took place in the 14th Khora of Khaol district of Ulaanbaatar city on Monday. Representatives of non-governmental organizations and city residents took part in the ceremony.
In his speech, President Hursuk noted that it was a historic day for the nation when people were uniting and working together for future generations.
It's just the beginning. In the future, everyone, every household, organization and business entity must plant trees. Improving the legal environment, providing proper policies, planning, the training of professional personnel and labor, the establishment of seedlings, fertilizers, greenhouses and forestry incubator centers, the introduction of new techniques and technology, and the water supply should be our priority in the future.
Within the framework of the National Billion Tree Campaign, it's estimated that it's possible to grow not only trees but also fruit trees, berry bushes, herbs, and fodder to meet domestic demand. Within the framework of the National Billion Tree Campaign, it's estimated that it's possible to grow not only trees but also fruit trees, berry bushes, herbs, and fodder to meet domestic demand. As a result, many jobs will be created and people's lives will improve. The president added that parks will be established in 330 SOMs and social welfare policy will be linked to tree planting. He also said that state awards and medals should be given to people who devote their time, energy, and money to protecting the government. He welcomed the Billion Tree Campaign and thanked the people, organizations, and companies who have joined the campaign. Sumya Bazar, the mayor of Ulaanbaatar and governor of the capital city, said that each district has set a goal to build a park and increase the 5.6 square meters of green space per capita by 10 times in the coming years. Dorjav, an academician, foreign member of the Russian Academy of Sciences and a leading employee of the Botanical Garden, said that arborists will donate 200,000 saplings to the campaign. He and his family have promised to plant 50,000 conifers on Shilimbogd Mountain in the next 10 years and called on everyone to take an active part in the national campaign. The inauguration of the National Billion Tree Campaign will continue through October 11th.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Let's take a look at the weather forecast of the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.